ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल कैसे पढ़ना है, ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल को कितना टाइम देना है, ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल के लिए क्या सोर्सेस होने चाहिए. If you are having such doubts, then this is a video which you must watch. Hello bachcho, a very warm welcome to Sunya IAS. Today I'll be taking up a discussion which is themed around one very important discussion, that is, how should you prepare for geography optional and how should you strategize your geography optional studies. Now this is the time period bachcho where you have started your studies for geography optional, but side by side you are also doing your GS studies. So this is a very crucial time in your civil services examination preparation. Here you must understand the value and importance of time, and also how to formulate a solid strategy which will help you write the mains next year in a manner that you will have a clarity and you will be able to score very high marks in geography optional. So let's start the discussion with respect to the strategy for geography optional foundation. So bachcho, mostly your classes have started, okay? So geography optional strategy. So some of you have started your classes, while some of you will be starting your classes. So the first thing that you will be doing on a daily basis, that is with respect to geography optional, will be attending the classes compulsorily. So when you will start your geography optional classes at Sunya IAS, you will be going through the classes, okay? And this is a daily exercise of 2.5 hours. However, you will be given the break on weekends where you will do the revisions. So I will explain you now how you will be studying and how you will be dividing your daily planners for pursuing the geography optional foundation studies. Now, first of all, bachcho, you will be attending the 2.5 hours classes. So I will give you a short form with respect to your planners for daily and the weekend basis. Now on a daily basis, what you will be doing is you will be attending the classes. So first of all, attend the class, then summarize the class. Okay. And along with that, you will be doing the revisions. So basically on a daily basis, there are three things that you will be doing. That is classes, summarizations, and revisions. That is, for example, today you attended one class and you made your summarizations. However, in the previous class, you must have studied another concept. So what you will be doing is quickly revise the yesterday's class summary. So that will be pursued in the method today's class, summarization of today's class, and revision of yesterday's class summarization. Now the first question that coming from you will be, ma'am, what is summarization? So bachcho, summarization is like a one-page summary, a crisp summary of your daily class notes. The daily class notes might extend even to 15-20 pages. So hence you need a summarization which will be in particular method, that is in forms of short forms, some schematics, some diagrams, inclusion of some maps, etc. on one A4 sheet, so that later on you can recall those notes and revise them very quickly. So for example, you are attending today's class, you will make summarizations back at home, and then you will also revise yesterday's summary. So you are doing work of 2 days, that is summarization of today and revision of yesterday. Now this is something that is CSR which you will be following on a daily basis once the classes are being held. To understand better about summarization, you will have to go to the Telegram channel of Sunya IAS Geography Optional. So just go to the Sunya IAS Geography Optional Telegram channel, where you will understand what is summarization. How do we summarize the entire day's note into one A4 sheet with the help of some symbols, some schematics, some maps, etc. So I have already uploaded some of the toppers summarization who have already cleared the examination. So you can go to the Sunya IAS Geography Optional Telegram channel and have a look of the summarizations which have been uploaded on the Telegram group. Okay. Now please understand, bacho, when we are talking about this planner which is to be pursued on a daily basis, then what about weekends, right? So on weekends what you would be doing is, because you will be given weekly question answer on the topic previously covered. In the week. So on the weekends, you will be writing an answer, and along with that, revision of the summaries which you have made in the week. So here there is a bit of change in the planner, that is AR, answer writing and revisions. That's it. So what you will be doing is, on weekends you will be pursuing AR, whereas on a daily basis you will be pursuing CSR. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. So bacho, while you are writing answers, you will be told in the classes itself how to start answer writing and how gradually you will be moving forward with respect to the later stages of answer writing. So please do not worry about that. That will be taken up in the classes. So first question has been answered. That is, what is the planner you must be pursuing for your geography optional. Now second is the time. How much time should you devote for this? Now on a daily basis, 2.5 hours will be consumed in the daily classes. Plus you will require 1 hour for making summarizations. And let's say half an hour for revision. So approximately 4 hours on a daily basis, sometimes less, sometimes a bit more, right? And along with that, parallelly, also remember that you are devoting similarly 2.5 hours for your GS classes and some bit of revision and summarizations. So this is a daily routine which a student who has started preparing for civil services examination must pursue. Please do not get digressed at an early stage. First of all, you need conceptual clarity, after which only you must run for enrichment, test series, etc. Starting attempting the test at this stage can cost you later because you are not prepared for test. Neither you are prepared for enrichment, right? So please understand this will go parallelly. That is geography and GS, that will go parallelly at this stage. Later on, there will be modifications. So this is the time period that you need to devote on a daily basis. If you are devoting a bit less time, that is fine across some of the topics which are easier, where the concepts are a bit more easier. However, wherever there are typical concepts, you must devote a bit more time. That's it. So I hope the daily planner is clear to you and how much time you should devote for it. Now, with respect to sources, bachcho, okay? So sources should remain restricted. So sources would remain the dictations of class notes. Along with that, we are giving you current affairs on a daily basis. On Geography Optional Telegram channel. That is Sunya IAS Geography Optional channel. So at the Telegram channel, you will be able to get access to daily current affairs. So those current affairs are to be integrated also in your notes. Initially, bachcho, you will have a difficulty in understanding some concepts around current affairs. But that is understandable, isn't it so? Because you are just starting your preparation. But gradually you will learn what are these current affairs about and how should I integrate them in my geography optional notes. Okay, you can do this also on a weekly basis. That is, on Saturday I'll be going through the entire week's current affair. That is up to you. Or you can also devote half an hour for studying the current affairs which have been uploaded in the early morning on the Sunya IAS Telegram channel. So please understand that I'm talking about resources, and your sources should remain very restricted. Okay. So first of all, the dictations of class notes along with the current affairs on the Telegram channel. Along with that, some standard books, which I'll be telling you in the classes itself. Apart from that, you need not purchase any other books or any other magazines. Otherwise, it will be a collection of bundle of books where you are not studying anything, but you are only collecting material, right? Now, also understand, bacho, there is a PYQ booklet which will be provided to you along with the course. So you can refer to the geography optional PYQ question answers from that particular booklet, which is very beneficial for understanding what are the type of questions which have been asked previously and how you will relate the classes content into these PYQ answers, right? Now, please understand that whenever we are studying these particular sources and whenever we are attending the classes. Now, the next question is, ma'am, how should I make my class notes? And actually, what is the relevant content for geography optional? Because I'm unable to differentiate from the GS, geography, and the geography optional. So please let me know how should I pursue my geography optional studies to make it more explicit, different from the GS geographical studies. So I will let you know how to go about it. So bacho, please understand that. Whenever you are making the class notes, or for that matter of fact, any summarizations, you will do that on blank A4 sheets. Please do not buy the rule sheets because UPSC provides you blank sheets. Leave some margins across the page and start writing on this A4 sheet in the form of paragraphs. Whenever class dictation is happening, but you must convert it into bullets and schematics in your summarization. Understood? So this can be a mix of bullets, paragraphs, okay? And you are making class notes. Class notes is something where you will develop and broaden your perspectives. You will come to know about new terms, new concepts. So hence, you should aim towards a better representation while learning in the classes. Try to draw maps. It may be weirdest map that you have ever drawn, because the class dictations are happening at a particular speed and you think your maps, they are not very good enough. Do not be scared, because at some point of time you will have to start making maps and then gradually you will improve over it. But you must work upon the representations in the geography optional as well, because at the end of the week you will also be writing answers. So in answers it must be reflected. Otherwise, bacho, the purpose is defeated, because here we are trying to pursue a certain methodology, that is classes, then summarizations. And from summarizations itself, you will be able to write very good answers. But it will take some time, maybe 1 week or maybe 2 weeks into the process. But you will gradually learn the process. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Now, the next question, let's move towards it. Now, see, whatever content is being taught to you in the classes, it will be in the form such that we will be starting from those units where there is a scope to get more marks and those topics which are very applied in nature. So basically, this is also one mistake that students tend to do. That is disproportionately covering some units and falling into the trap only of covering the physical geography, whereas not covering the other topics. And that is why your content looks more like a GS content. It is not seemingly looking like a geography optional content, right? So, bacho, let me first of all make you understand this with the help of also the syllabus of geography optional. Okay. So, syllabus of geography optional is such that now please understand that paper 1 is further divided into physical geography and human geography. There are some units across physical geography like geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography, and across human geography like models, perspective, RDP, economic geography, population and settlements. Whereas in Indian geography, it is specifically around agriculture, transportation, political aspects, RDP paper 2, and also around other important issues like cultural settings, settlements, contemporary issues, etc. Now, bachcho, the first error that we tend to do is that there is a skewed study of certain units. So, for example, a disproportionate focus only around geomorphology, around oceanography or climatology. So, hence, this impacts the preparation of the student in such a manner that is, you are focused only around some particular units, whereas you are not focusing on the other units. Whereas, how should you start your preparation? You should start your preparation in such a manner that you are not only covering the concepts of paper 1, but in an integrated manner, you are also covering the concepts of paper 2. Here, the paper 1 human geography comes handy. Why? Because the topics in human geography, that is around models, around economic geography, population, settlement, etc., they have a huge overlap with paper 2. So, bachcho, please understand that. For example, when we are talking about RDP 1 and RDP 2, similarly, settlements along with cultural settings and settlements of paper 2. Now, there is an interlinkage. I'm coming to a very, very important point here, bachcho. That is, while we are doing the studies in paper 1, it must be integrated with paper 2. That is how we will be starting our syllabus. That is starting from those units which have a direct interlinkage with paper 2. So, population and settlements paper 1 has a direct linkage with cultural settings and settlements paper 2. Now, if you start developing that understanding that how should I integrate the concepts from paper 1 into paper 2? How should I replicate these theories and models across paper 2? Then your preparation is better streamlined. Because if you are studying the paper 1 in silos, and that too disproportionately only around few units, your entire study remains inadequate, bachcho. So here our focus from beginning will be to interlink the concepts from paper 1 into paper 2 and starting from human geography. So making an interlinkage between RDP paper 1, RDP paper 2, economic geography and resources, etc. So herein lies the secret. That is how your answers or your content will look like the geography optional content. Because from the beginning itself you have learnt how to integrate the concepts of paper 1 into paper 2. And also very importantly, this section of paper 1, this is having a very applied context. You can apply these concepts across multiple answers and can develop interlinkages. So hence, beginning from human geography gives you an edge because you are also covering paper 2 along with paper 1. So this is one key factor where you can tend to make mistake, that is starting itself from a wrong notion about geography or starting from those sections of the syllabus where there is less applied context and where there is lengthier concepts and the concepts which are hardly applicable across paper 2. Starting from those units and the sections which have a more applied context will give you an edge from the beginning itself. So this is one key mantra in your strategy, bachcho, that is from where to start. Now बच्चों, to make it more clear, let me give you some examples. तब आपको एकदम क्लियर हो जाएगा कि हम किस बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, So for example, if you have studied the concepts of regional development and planning, here you will learn about the concepts like growth pole, the concepts like core periphery, concepts like backwash and spread effect. Now these are the concepts which you will understand in the RDP paper 1. But eventually there will be questions asked in RDP paper 2 in context of lack of development and reasons for backwardness across different regions in India, isn't it so? You must then understand and relate them with the concepts that you have already studied in paper 1. That is, now you know the ideas of backwash and spread effect, which you don't know today, but you will eventually learn that in your geography optional foundation classes. Now you will be able to interlink it with the concepts of paper 2. That is, how because of backwash, there can be resultant backwardness and lack of regional development and planning. So such interlinkages are only possible when you are studying the concepts of paper 1 and 2 in integrity. You cannot cover these concepts in a manner that you are studying RDP paper 1 and then RDP paper 2 after 3 months, or possibly some concepts from RDP paper 1 itself are missing in your notes. So you are never able to make interlinkages. Now secondly, bachcho, there comes an importance of the case studies and examples also. So while you are studying the concepts of RDP paper 1 and trying to integrate them in paper 2, I will also teach you the case studies and examples with the individual topics. Hence, you will be able to understand this from the perspective of real life applicability. So, for example, we are talking about backwash, etc. So, the development in Bhilai across Rourkela, across Bokaro, etc. have been in form of the backwash effect itself. So hence you will understand that yes, if I have to write answers, I have got some case studies, I can include the concept from paper 1, and hence my study even of paper 2 becomes holistic, isn't it so? Now there is another very important aspect, Bachu. One most frequently asked questions to me, okay, that is with respect to how do I score 300 plus in geography optional. Now the first idea you already understood, that is integrating the concepts from paper 1 into paper 2. So what we'll be doing is we'll be starting from those concepts where I'll be teaching you the parallel interlinkage between paper 1 and paper 2 concepts and integration of human geography across paper 2 Indian geography. Later on, Bacho, we will be moving to the other topics, other units as well. And gradually you will understand one very important dimension. That is, till now you have understood the integration of paper 1 and paper 2. But you must also gradually learn the integration of the concepts between the units and amongst the same unit as well. So that is how you start scoring higher marks on an average. Let's learn this. So for example, now you have understood integration of concepts from paper 1 into paper 2. But gradually you will also learn that how you can integrate the concepts of RDP, okay, that is with respect to the cultural settings, integrating the concepts around cultural settings into settlements. It can eventually be also linked with transportation and contemporary issues. This is referred to as the inter-unit linkages, which you will learn gradually, and you will start integrating that in your content itself, because your classes itself are designed in such a manner. So somewhere I'm teaching you the concept around RDP, and we will link that with cultural settings and with settlements, transportation and contemporary issues also. So for example, let's say we are talking about regional development and planning across the northeastern region of India. Okay. So can we say that there are areas in northeastern region which are comparatively less developed? Yes. Do they impact the population which is residing in that area? Yes. The population is impacted in such a manner that their economic livelihood is also impacted, and because of which there is another impact, that is there has been out migration from these areas because they are relatively less developed. And as there is out migration, do these settlements get impacted? Yes. Generally the population density starts declining in such areas, and in turn there are less number of people residing in these settlements. These settlements become vacant over a period of time. Isn't it so? So if we are planning for some important infrastructure like the transportation development, now because there is less population density and the settlements have been impacted because of out migration, will my planning for services like transportation etc be impacted? Is it somehow related to the contemporary developments that we are planning towards the connectivity in the remote areas, the development of bridges, the development of tunnels, etc.? Because whenever there is less population density, that will also impact my planning for the resource allocation, services, etc. in these regions. Isn't it so? Now, these interlinkages you will understand as you will start attending the classes. And once you understand this linkage, you will also understand how will you link the concepts of paper 1, the theories that we had already studied in RDP paper 1, in such a case scenario to address and give a possible solution by implementing maybe the regional development planning principles or implementing some of the models that we have already studied. So I hope you are clear with this context. That is, how do some students score very high in geography optional? So previously also students have done such things while preparing their geography optional. That is, with the classes itself, they get a set of case studies, examples, maps, models, theories, name of thinkers, And lastly, the integration of current affairs. So these are like super 6, okay, which will help you get 300 plus marks in geography option. There are certain fundamental principles which you must not miss while formulating your strategy for geography optional. Otherwise, you will be getting marks like in the range of 205, 210, 220, but not more than that. Because you have made some fundamental errors while preparing your geography optional. Because you didn't had a clarity from where should I start. Please understand that whenever a building is being constructed, the fundamentals, the basement should be very strong. Because if the pillars have not been placed firmly, the building will not stand tall. So place your fundamentals properly. That is around these super 6 principles. And you will gradually get very good marks in geography option. Now coming towards the next question. From here itself, you will be asking me about the maps and about thinkers. That is how you should cover them. And in what detailed map has to be done. Now see bachon, with respect to geography optional, in paper 2, you will be getting a 20 marker question with respect to mapping itself. Okay. So locational aspects of the India's geography. So that is important, isn't it so? Because this is a straight 20 marker question. And you have to write about these locations also. You have to describe about that. So yes, a 20 marker straightforward question. But apart from it, please understand, whenever you are reading the content in one page, what breaks your monotony? It will be somewhere a diagram, a schematic, or a map, or a box where you have given some special extra information, isn't it so? So similarly, maps can help you break the monotony. You will be learning so many maps across the syllabus, both of paper 1 and paper 2. You will have map at least for each individual subsection. And also along with that, some regional maps for case studies, both from the perspective of India and world. And later on, because you will have that content, you will be able to integrate them in your answers. Because if you are writing geography optional answers, although it's not a compulsion, but drawing maps can fetch you more marks. Definitely. Those maps can be regional maps. Those maps can be of entire India, the entire spatial world map, demonstrating some of the demographic attributes, etc. But bachcho, please understand that this is a process that you will learn in the classes. So in what depth you will have to do that? You will be having the separate mapping classes also, and you will need to purchase the Black Swan Atlas, from where you will be learning about the locational aspects, especially in context of India. And in each day class, you will learn about the integration of maps in the content. So hence, mapping is something which we will be paying a specific focus upon. Now next, let's move towards the thinkers. So the next question, which is most frequently asked is, ma'am, how can I remember the name of thinkers? How many name of thinkers do I have to recall? Is it necessary to write the name of thinkers in the papers? Now my answer to you is, if you know about a concept, will it not be good to also portray the name of the thinkers with whom the particular concept is associated with. Yes, it will be. It will give an added advantage to you. Examiner will think that yes, that student knows a bit more than the other students, right? And secondly, bacho, when we are talking about geography optional, so I will be giving you some mnemonics, especially the mnemonics around the thinkers of the perspective unit. So you will be able to remember these name of thinkers. Now coming back to the question on thinkers. Now see, the point which is being discussed here is that you will learn about the thinkers with respect to their contributions. Okay, so you would understand what are the different contributions of these thinkers. So for example, discussing about the von Thunen agricultural location theory, or Weber's industrial theory, or CPT Cristallin, etc. Now the bigger aim is forward ahead of you. That is, once I know the name of these thinkers, and especially thinkers from the perspective unit, for example, thinkers like Ratzel, Vidal, Reckless, and you would also come to know about the other thinkers, for example, Walpert, White, Kirk, Ufutuan, etc. So now you have the list of thinkers and their contributions and important works. Now the entire idea here is, bacho, you must start developing the interlinkages. So for example, if you will study the concept around welfare approach, you will learn about Smith. Now, if we will study the concepts, for example, in the pre-classical, okay, in classical phase of geography, you will learn about thinkers like Varenius, Kant, Humboldt, Ritter. Now, bacho, for example, I have told you about the welfare approach, okay, and the contributions of Smith. Now, why should I keep restricted my discussions only when the question of welfare approach has been asked? Now you know the concept. So across the other discussions as well. So for example, in the discussions on inequalities and disparities, I would encourage you to include the welfare approach and also the contributions of Smith. Now here we have developed an interlinkage amongst the unit, that is from perspective paper 1 across paper 2 RDP 2, that is interlinkage amongst paper 1 and 2 and also across the units. Similarly, if you know about the pre-classical and classical phase, which we will be studying in the unit of, again, Perspectives, Human Geography, Paper 1. You will be studying about Varenius, Kant, Humboldt, Richter. Now, they have done some specific studies, some important works. There have been different contributions of these thinkers. But if we are talking about environmental degradation, we can also quote the works of Humboldt. Okay, what are the works, how that can be quoted? You will learn that in the content development phase of Geography Optional. So this question, which was a very important question, that is, how should I strategize my preparation to score more than 300 plus in Geography Optional? I hope now you have a clarity with that. That is, first of all, you have to develop the daily planners and the weekly planners. And along with that, you will have to go through the content given in the classes itself in such a manner that you start developing interlinkages. And you also have a clarity about the role of schematics, maps, case studies, thinkers, models, and theories of inclusion in your content and then in your answers. And then you will be ready for the stage of test. Otherwise, this is too early a stage to start attempting the test papers, bacho. First of all, formulate your fundamentals properly. Otherwise, scoring 250 plus marks will be a difficulty, bacho. Okay. Next is the role of books and how should I study the books and how much should I study from books. Now see, bacho, the role of books can be understood by the fact that, first of all, what is the importance of classes and class dictations? So your classes itself are formulated in such a manner that I'll be giving you class notes on the basis of the discussions which have been themed from already 3-4 books. So this is a concised material which is to be given to you on a daily basis in the classes. So dictations itself cover the concepts from multiple sources. So hence, books are to be referred only from those pages which will be mentioned to you in the classes. And apart from that, on the weekly basis, when you will be given the questions, you will be also given the model answers and those answers which had been written by the previous toppers. So you will have a library of the model answers as well, written by the toppers who have previously cleared the examination. Now you have a reference point also ahead of you. Now the perspective of civil services examination should be very clear to us. That is, I have to clear this examination in a limited time period. I do not have to collect all the given available information to me on the planet Earth. I must be restricted in my choices in such a manner that I'm targeting the syllabus rather than spreading around and beating around the bush. So here comes the role of books. You will refer to books in such a manner that you will refer the books with respect to specified pages only, along with class dictations. You are not going to read the entire book from cover to cover. There is no such book in my knowledge for Geography Optional which is to be read cover to cover. Yes, although there are certain books which you will be reading in more detailed manner, whereas the other books that you will be referring to sporadically. There are some good books, for example, R.D. Dixit, okay, for example, Models Majid Hussain, which are very nice books, for example, even Fuller Paper 2, okay. So those are the books which are to be referred in a more detailed manner. But again, across the specific themes, across the specific units, across the specific subtopics. Otherwise, what would happen is you will spread around so much information that you are not able to concise that for your answers. So books are to be referred only from those pages which will be told to you in the classes. Please stop purchasing too many books. The books which are being referred to you by your friends, some books which you are seeing across the marketplaces. So you are very much attracted towards books and collection of data and information, isn't it so? You will restrict yourself here because collection of too much data around one particular topic will not be beneficial. You must be more prepared with respect to answer writing rather than having a collection of information. Bacho. So I hope you are now clear with respect to your sources. You have a clarity with respect to the time which must be devoted for geography optional and what should be your strategy. Now let's move towards very important discussion. That is, how should I plan for geography optional from 1 year ahead? So in the next 1 year, bacho, in the next 5-6 months, you must get hold of the geography optional foundation along with weekly answer writing. Later on, let's say somewhere from mid-October till let's say end of January, you must practice daily geography optional answer writing. You already have the content, isn't it so? You have the content with you now. Now the only task will be writing one answer on a daily basis, which will hardly take half hour or 45 minutes, okay, along with the revision. So daily geography optional answer writing. Along with that, now you can start attempting the test. But bacho, if you still do not have the confidence with respect to answer writing, some students will be there who have never done the answer writing ever in their life. So for those students, you can skip the test series during this time period. What you can do is keep on writing answers on a daily basis. Keep on furnishing your answer writing practice. I'm again repeating that will take at maximum 45 minutes or 1 hour on a daily basis. And possibly if you are also doing revisions of geography optional, so 1 hour or 1.5 hours for revision. The rest of the time you can give to your GS and GS answer writing because you've already done a significant part of your geography optional during this time period. So this can be carried till the end of January, and after which I will suggest that you can keep aside your geography optional. Put it away in a box which will be opened only after prelims. After this, you can start your prelims study, completely prelims oriented, because your boot camps and revision classes will start. After prelims, bacho, now you will open up all the entire content, all the answers that you have written for geography optional. Along with that, you will also have the toppers model answers. Now you can diligently attempt the test series. That is between the time period of prelims till mains. That is the importance of covering geography optional 1 year priorly. I hope you are clear with this. because your optional will be covered by almost October, okay? And you will be appearing in the mains next year, that is somewhere around September. So you have covered your optional well ahead of time. So you had the time of making errors. You had the time of learning. While those students who will be starting their optional somewhere around November, December will not have this added advantage and added leap, because they will also have to prepare for prelims exam. So you have an added advantage and added leap over the other students. You must harness it. Prepare for geography optional in a very strategic manner from henceforth, because this time that you are going to invest in the geography optional will also pay you dividend in the GS papers. Geography has a huge overlap with the GS papers. So for example, I must tell you here itself that in GS1, it is somewhere around 100 marks. GS2, somewhere around 50 marks. In GS3, again somewhere around at least 70-80 marks. And especially across essays. And you can always generate some dimensions even in ethics, which are geographical and which have an environmental context. So GS1, straightforward 100 marks from geography. GS2, 50 marks IR. So international relations also have a certain overlap with geography, because we will be studying the geopolitical theories. So you will learn about the important concepts which can be applied across GS paper 2 in the questions of IR. Then GS paper 3, around the themes of agriculture, environment, disaster management, direct overlap with respect to geography option, which entails again a bracket, a margin of around 60, 70, 80, 90 marks. And then you can generate the dimensions around essay. So the themes of women empowerment, inequalities, etc. You have a lot of fodder from your geography optional classes. And definitely you can generate the environmental and geographical context in the ethics answers. So you are having an advantage, at least bare minimum of somewhere around 250 marks. Geography optional will help you even in the GS paper significantly. But the challenge here is how you will strategize your preparation. Because once you are starting in a wrong direction, then from here on, the next 4-5 months can also go down the drain. Bacho, my suggestion is you must start preparing for geography optional and in a very strategic manner. You must prepare the geography optional from the class dictations along with some references from the books. But parallelly, you must also cover the current affairs which we are providing to you in the Telegram channel on a daily basis. I know some of you must be having some other doubts. So if you are having any other doubts, you can contact on the number which is given in the description box. But do join the Telegram channel to get a daily current affairs update on the geography optional. And we are beginning with the geography optional foundation course also. To have a further clarity about the course and when will the classes commence, you can click on the link given in the description box, where you will get all the details with respect to the geography optional foundation course. This is all from my side with respect to the geography optional foundation strategy. Hope you had some learnings from this video and you will start preparing for geography optional in a very strategic manner. Thank you.